The movie begins with Lucy, a young American woman studying abroad in Taipei, Taiwan. She's drawn into a dangerous situation by her boyfriend Richard, who manipulates her into delivering a mysterious briefcase to a man named Mr. Zhang, a powerful Korean mob boss. Lucy is hesitant but eventually agrees after Richard handcuffs the briefcase to her wrist, leaving her with no choice but to go through with the delivery. Once Lucy arrives at the hotel, she's taken by Zhang's intimidating henchmen and forced to meet him in a highly secured suite. Zhang is ruthless and doesn't hesitate to show Lucy his power by unaliving Richard outside the hotel room, demonstrating the high stakes and danger she's in. Inside, Lucy is knocked unconscious, and when she awakens, she discovers a packet of a blue crystalline substance, CPH4, has been surgically implanted in her abdomen. This synthetic drug is highly potent, and she realizes she's intended to be a drug mule, forced to transport it against her will. Later, Lucy is held captive by Mr. Zhang's henchmen in a grimy cell, awaiting transport. While being held, one of the guards assaults her, and during the struggle, he kicks her in the stomach, rupturing the drug packet inside her abdomen. The drug, CPH4, begins leaking into her system, causing a powerful reaction as it rapidly enhances her brain capacity and mental abilities. In a sudden burst of strength and focus, Lucy manages to fight off her captors. Her perception and control over her own body have begun to evolve, giving her superhuman reflexes, pain resistance, and even the ability to manipulate objects around her. With this newfound power, she escapes and makes her way to a nearby hospital. There, Lucy insists on having the remaining drug removed surgically, but she soon realizes that her brain's capacity to process information and make advanced calculations is exponentially increasing as more of the drug enters her bloodstream. Later, she decides to return to the hotel where Mr. Zhang is staying. Lucy is focused on retrieving the remaining CPH4 packets to amplify her growing powers. Confident in her newfound abilities, she strides into the building with a powerful presence, easily incapacitating the guards and hotel staff standing in her way. When she confronts Mr. Zhang, her demeanor is cold and determined, displaying how much she has changed from the fearful woman she was in the beginning. Lucy then uses her powers to inflict intense pain on Mr. Zhang, forcing him to give up the information she needs about the remaining drug mules carrying the CPH4 packets. She is able to retrieve the details with ease, further illustrating how the drug has not only expanded her cognitive abilities, but has also diminished her empathy and emotional restraint, as she shows no remorse or hesitation in her approach with Yang. The next day, Lucy calls Professor Samuel Norman to explain the transformative effects of the drug on her mind and body. It's a pivotal moment as she seeks guidance and validation from someone who understands the implications of her escalating powers. Over the phone, she tells Professor Norman that the CPH4 has unlocked parts of her brain that normal humans don't access, describing how her senses, memory, and perception have expanded to extraordinary levels. Lucy can now feel everything around her and manipulate objects, and she's beginning to experience time, matter, and life in new ways that are almost incomprehensible. Professor Norman listens intently, fascinated but concerned, as Lucy describes the physical and cognitive changes she's undergoing. She tells him that her human traits, like emotions and memories, are starting to feel distant and irrelevant. Norman realizes that her rapid cognitive expansion is driving her toward an unprecedented state of existence. He suggests that she should focus on gathering as much knowledge as possible, hinting at the idea that she might be able to transcend typical human understanding and even leave a legacy of knowledge for humanity. Their conversation delves into theories about the brain's potential and the nature of human experience, with Norman suggesting that if she continues to evolve at this rate, she may be able to reach a state of ultimate understanding and omniscience. He urges her to come to Paris so that they can meet and document her progress, believing that her insights could revolutionize human knowledge. The next day, Lucy heads to the airport, knowing that the other CPH4 drug mules are en route to Europe carrying the remaining drug packets. With her abilities now giving her access to vast stores of information and a strategic mindset, she decides to contact French police detective Pierre Del Rio. Lucy calls Del Rio to inform him about the mules, giving him specific details about each one: their names, flight details, and the drug packets surgically implanted in their bodies. Lucy instructs Del Rio to have his officers intercept and detain the mules as soon as they land. Though Del Rio is initially skeptical about the caller's motives, Lucy's information is compelling, and her authoritative tone leaves little room for doubt. She makes it clear that her interest in the operation is not for profit or revenge, but for a purpose beyond what Del Rio can fully comprehend. Despite his confusion and curiosity about who Lucy is and how she knows so much, Del Rio agrees to cooperate and mobilizes his team to secure the drug mules. Lucy's plan is simple. Once Del Rio's officers have the drug packets, she will retrieve them to complete her mission to harness the full power of the CPH-4. As Lucy boards an airplane to Paris to meet Professor Samuel Norman, the intense effects of the CPH-4 start to wreak havoc on her body. Her brain is operating at an exceptionally high capacity, pushing her body beyond its natural limits. While seated, she begins to feel intense discomfort as her physical form struggles to keep up with her rapidly advancing consciousness. Suddenly, Lucy's teeth begin to fall out, and her skin and body start disintegrating, almost as if she's evaporating. This terrifying transformation is a result of her physical body becoming unable to handle the vast amount of neurological energy surging through her system. The drug's effect has pushed her brain's usage beyond what a normal human body is designed to support, causing her cells to destabilize and her form to disintegrate. In an effort to regain control, Lucy rushes to the airplane's bathroom and consumes more of the CPH-4. The additional dose stabilizes her temporarily, helping her body adapt to her heightened brain capacity and preventing her from fully disintegrating. Later, Lucy arrives in Paris. She meets Detective Pierre Del Rio at the hospital, where the drug mules are being held. Together, they set off to retrieve the CPH-4 packets from the mules, with Del Rio now fully aware that he's part of something beyond the ordinary scope of law enforcement. As they approach the hospital where the mules are, they quickly realize that Mr. Zhang's men have gotten there first and are in the process of forcibly extracting the CPH-4. Lucy's enhanced senses allow her to immediately assess the situation, and she doesn't hesitate to engage Zhang's men. Using her powers, Lucy easily neutralizes them with a combination of telekinesis and mental control. She disarms, immobilizes, and even levitates them, rendering them powerless without lifting a finger. Her abilities allow her to move through the hospital almost effortlessly, bending space and matter around her and taking full control of the environment to protect herself and Del Rio. Lucy secures the remaining packets of CPH-4 from the mules, ensuring that she now has the full supply of the drug she needs to complete her transformation. Del Rio, witnessing her powers firsthand, is awestruck and overwhelmed, recognizing that Lucy is no longer bound by normal human limitations. Eventually, Lucy and Detective Pierre Del Rio finally reach Professor Samuel Norman and his team of scientists in the lab. She immediately begins sharing profound insights about life, the universe, and the nature of existence. Her understanding has transcended conventional human knowledge, and she discusses biology, time, and energy on a cosmic scale, leaving everyone in the lab in awe. She describes her awareness of everything from molecular structures to the fundamental principles that govern existence, displaying a level of understanding that humans can barely grasp. As she speaks, she informs them that her transformation is nearing completion and that she has limited time remaining in her physical form. Recognizing that her evolution will soon render her unable to remain human, she decides to preserve all the knowledge she has acquired. To do this, she transforms herself into a powerful memory storage device, almost like a digital memory stick, which she hands over to Professor Norman. This memory device contains her vast knowledge, intended for humanity to study and learn from, bridging the gap between her superhuman intellect and the future of human understanding. Meanwhile, Mr. Zhang and his heavily armed men infiltrate the lab, intent on killing Lucy to regain control of the valuable CPH-4 and stop her from spreading her knowledge. A firefight ensues between Del Rio's police team and Yang's men, as Del Rio and the other officers fight to hold off the attackers. As the battle rages around her, Lucy remains focused on her transformation, harnessing her powers to complete her evolution. Finally, as the last phase of her transformation occurs, Lucy becomes a pure energy source, transcending her physical form and merging with the fabric of time, space, and reality itself. She dissolves into an omnipresent, non-physical energy, leaving only the memory device behind for humanity. In her final moments, she sends a message to Del Rio stating, "I am everywhere," signifying that her consciousness has expanded to an eternal, universal presence. Make sure to like and subscribe for more notifications. Until next time, see you soon.